Look, I know absolutely nobody comes to me for baseball opinions, but I have to re-download the video that I was about to respond to. So you have to listen to my baseball opinions because while I was waiting for this video to re-download, I watched this documentary about the Mariners. And like, if you don't really understand why I was so heated about the Mariners last year, because I had people DMing me and being like, Joe, why are you talking about the Mariners so much out of nowhere? Just watch this documentary. It's extremely well done, and it perfectly explains why I want to put knives into all of my eyeballs every single time the Mariners do anything. And it also perfectly explains why the 2025 season was such a fucking pain for Mariners fans. Like, I'm a drama teacher. I had students coming up to me after the Mariners lost the ALCS, and students were coming up to me the next day in class and like, hey sir, I'm really sorry about the Mariners. The worship leader at my church gives me like a 24-hour mourning period and then texts me, "Hey Joe, I'm really sorry about the Mariners." Like, this just watch this documentary, you'll understand. Okay, and now it's done downloading so we can watch this stupid video. After I kick my cat out of the room because do you have something to say? Do you have something to say? Yeah. It's what I fucking thought, kiddo. Get out of the room. Okay, anyways, here's this piece of shit.
I'm so poor that I can't even pay $20 for a Pokemon game.
That's actually not a bad Marge Simpson impression. This is what we call fair and balanced criticism. I can tell you that all of your opinions are terrible and that your hair looks atrocious right now. Why did you cut the sides but then leave the top as like a mushroom? Why does anybody do that? Like, I guess slight kudos for trying to put some effort into your appearance, but my boy, this is not it.
Like, imagine being this broke and this desperate.
Yeah, okay, so he's talking. I got to this news a little bit late because I'm Joe from Seattle and I get to news late. That's just who I am. I was doing really important things while this news was happening, so I couldn't make a video about it. I can't think of any important thing that I was doing. Normally, I have at least some attempt at an excuse of like, oh, I didn't get to this news because I was like, I was busy fucking your mom. But like this, I just didn't get to this one. So Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green, the GBA remakes of original red version, green version, those are being re-released on the Switch for $20 a pop. Which on the surface, $20 for a Pokemon game doesn't sound that crazy. $20 for a top tier Pokemon game doesn't sound that crazy. But you need to think about the larger picture here. I was born in 1997. I was in high school in the early 2010s. I was in high school during that weird era where some schools were giving students Chromebooks, which means, this is not a lie, which means in high school, I was emulating FireRed and LeafGreen on my Chromebook for free. It's not that $20 for a full-fledged Pokemon game is expensive. If it was a brand new Pokemon game for $20, I don't think anyone would be saying a word. It's the fact that it's $20 for re-releases of GBA games. And not just that, GBA games that you can emulate like that on basically any device. That's the bigger picture that people are complaining about. It's not that $20 is expensive, it's that $20 for this specifically is a bit of a greedy move. Now, obviously, Nintendo's not going to release Fire Red and Leaf Green completely free of charge, but what I think they should have done is like $10 for both of them. 10, $15 for both of them. If you absolutely must charge $10 for both, but $20 each for GBA games that, to my understanding, are like 99% unchanged. Come on. Give me 10 minutes and somebody's iPhone, and I'll get you these games for free. That's the problem.
Imagine spending all of your time unemployed, sitting in your parents' basement, spurging out about Nintendo charging you for a Pokemon game.
Again, it's not the fact that they're charging for a Pokemon game, it's the fact that they're charging this much for this specific Pokemon game.
That's been the past couple of days when it comes to Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. This incredibly well-received game is getting a re-release. It's going to be the best-selling game this week.
I'm sure it will be the best-selling game this week. What else is coming out this week? Yeah, it's going to kill it.
It's going to outdo Resident Evil Requiem. It's going to outdo Tales of Berseria.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil Requiem comes out this week? Hang on, I have to fact check myself now. I totally forgot that was the same week. Hang on, Pokemon Oh boy, Fire Red, Switch 2. So Fire Red and Leaf Green come out for the Switch on the 27th. Resident Evil 9 comes out on the 27th. And yes, I'm calling it Resident Evil 9. I don't want to call it Requiem. I just want to call it RE9. Can we just call it RE9? It's like the people who are like, it's not RE8, it's RE Village. Fuck yourself. I don't care. It's RE8. You're like the fucking weirdos who are like, dude, it's not Mortal Kombat 9. It was the Mortal Kombat reboot. It's Mortal Kombat 2011. Put my fucking ass in your mouth. It's MK9. Oh yeah, I love Modern Warfare 2019. It's not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. It's Call of Duty fucking terrible dog shit game no one should like. That's the official title of that game. God, I don't even know what point I was trying to make here. Oh, that's the point I was trying to make here. I have no doubt that Fire Red and Leaf Green are going to sell perfectly well. I have no doubt about that. Will it sell better than RE9? I don't know. We don't know yet. Resident Evil has a big following. This is the first mainline Resident Evil game in a few years. And it's the first Resident Evil game to come out since the RE4 make, which some stupid people really like. Some, smarter, more handsome people don't really like it all that much. I'll let you guess who those smarter, more handsome people are. I'll give you a hint. This smarter, more handsome person is also in a band called Curbside Anthem that you can go listen to if you're a fan of that pop punk revival going around. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really know if Fire Red and Leaf Green are going to outsell RE9. That's not really the point, because everyone knows Pokemon already, markets itself to the lowest common denominator. Also, RE9 is an M-rated horror game. Pokemon is Pokemon. I don't think anyone would even bat a fucking eyelash at outselling Resident Evil. What is that comparison? Who gives a shit? And if you want what's best for the Pokemon franchise, if you want what's best for Nintendo as a brand, Pokemon as a brand, the Switch as a system, why would you want these overpriced re-releases to outsell the new game? Why would you want that?
It is a celebration of Pokemon's 30 years of relevancy. And
30 years of relevancy is just I don't know. It's just a weird way to put it. Hey man, I love this franchise. It's been relevant for a long time. Has it been really good? I don't know, but it's been relevant. I mean, so is Zootopia. I don't care. What?
And people like Nintendian can try and cope all they want and call it lazy.
It is lazy, yes. It's just the game from 20 years ago. Maybe more. I don't remember what year Fire Red Leaf Green. It had to be more, because those were on the GBA. And 20 years ago was 2026. Which would have been the DS territory. So yes, it's even more lazy than I was suggesting. Again, that's not me saying you can't like it. It's not me saying you're a bad person if you buy it. I just wish you would think a little bit more.
You can't call it lazy when you have other Pokemon products that have come out recently that you can buy instead. This is just a re-release of an old game. So
wait, so it's not lazy because other games exist? What does that even mean? Also, other Pokemon games that have come out recently are definitely lazy. Do I have to show footage of recent Pokemon games and their laziness? I am. For the audio listeners out there, I'm currently showing footage of all the bugs and glitches in recent Pokemon games. Bugs and glitches that would never exist in the older Pokemon games, ironically. Yeah, dude, these games aren't lazy because these other games exist, and these other games are, blatantly lazy. It's okay, cool. These other games aren't lazy because 25 years ago they were less lazy than the ones that come out now. It's just such a strange argument.
Every single narrative that has been propped up about this game regarding the price point, involving the game they chose the re-release, and regarding the entire situation, all of it has fallen apart.
I mean, I would have preferred them give some love to Ruby and Sapphire. Original Ruby and Sapphire. That was my shit. It's also completely irrelevant to everything you were saying. Sorry.
But what I find interesting about this is just the massive double standard when it comes to the price point. Because what we have seen with this specific release is that we have seen a pure 180 flip, okay?
Wait, I'm confused. Am I missing something? Are the Fire Red and Leaf Green re-releases not just poor? Hang on. I have to fucking look this up now. Fire Red, Leaf Green, Switch. I was under the impression that they were just re-releases, and yeah, they're just re-releases. I'm not sure how you could argue that there's a double standard when I don't even know if there's like an equivalent thing that's happened. Because most of the time games get remastered or weirdly like half-assed remade and people get upset about that. But I mean, it's not every day that a game just gets straight re-released like this. So I'm confused where you're even getting the comparison from, but I guess I'll let you finish.
A complete flip-flop from the community who have spent the past several years bitching about like Nintendo Switch Online, about how they want to own games, how they don't want to like subscribe to a subscription service that is tied into general online play, by the way.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to pay to play games online. I don't know why that's weird to say. You shouldn't have to pay extra money to play your own games online. That's bullshit. And Nintendo themselves were one of the few companies that didn't require you to do that up until very recently. I mean, like, I grew up on the GameCube and Wii generation. GameCube didn't have online play, but the Wii did. And I'm old enough to remember Greg Hastings' Paintball 2. Yes, I unironically was grinding the online multiplayer of Greg Hastings' Paintball 2. I had fun with it. I was good at it. I don't remember my username, so I couldn't even start to couldn't even start to try and post my creds from leaderboards because I don't even fucking remember my username. I think my username was Megadeth. Like, literally just Megadeth. Because that's the fucking edgy teenager I was at the time. Or, like, pre-teenager at the time. But, like, this wasn't a required thing until recently. What do you mean that this is a 180 when you're just listing things that you shouldn't have to do in the first place? It's a completely unrelated thing.
How they don't want to support this, how they want to buy games on the eShop. If only Nintendo were to do it. Okay, here you go. No, not like that.
Yeah, because it's overpriced for what they're offering. Again, it's a completely different scenario.
You know, $20 is perfectly reasonable for a game like this.
$20 might be reasonable for a new Pokemon game, considering the amount of effort that goes into those fucking things now. But $20 for a one-to-one port of a GBA game? No. Like, why is this hard to comprehend?
Like, especially considering Pokemon is the biggest brand in the world. The idea that people have that, like, well, this is too expensive because the game is old. Yeah, guess what, bro? If you buy this game secondhand, it's like $160.
Yeah, and whose fault is that? Also, if I buy the game secondhand, it's $160. I can get it for free right now, easily, on any device. That's the problem, because it's so fucking old that it runs on everything. And it's so easily distributable that you can get it from fucking anywhere. So why are they charging so much for it? Oh, so Joe, you can play it, like, mobily on your Switch too. I can play it mobily on my phone 10 years ago. Like, what is this?
You know, what are you talking about? And don't sit there and try and tell me that, like, well, you can just emulate it for free. No.
Yes, I can emulate it for free. Again, I was emulating it for free in 2013. Or 14. I forget exactly which year. I forget which year my high school rolled out the Chromebooks and thought it wouldn't be a mistake, as we were all just emulating fucking Pokemon and Sonic 2. I think that was my junior year, so that would have been 2014, 13, 14. I graduated high school in 2015, so 2013, 14 would be my junior year when we had the Chromebooks. I think that was my junior year. It might have been my senior year. Either way, it was over a decade ago that a stupid fuck teenager like me could emulate this game for free on a fucking school-administered Chromebook. Why the fuck are you charging me $20 now?
You can't actually, because you will not be able to engage with the general player base.
Oh, damn it. I can't emulate the game because I can't use the multiplayer functions? Because everyone was using the multiplayer functions in FireRed and LeafGreen. Like, that was such a deal breaker back in the day. Just put a stake through my heart.
With the trading features, with play, local play, the way you would with actual physical hardware.
It's so funny to me because on one hand, you're correct. What he's referring to here, for all you fucking youngins out there, FireRed and LeafGreen was released on the Game Boy Advance and some versions of the game. It might have been all versions of the game, but they came with this weird little adapter thing. So you could actually hook that up to your Game Boy and then, like, actually trade with other players. And I think you could actually, like, play against other players with that adapter thingy. And as someone who actually like grew up during this era, you know how many people were actually doing that? Like out on the playground, out when you were hanging out with friends. You know how many people were actually doing that? I saw it one time, one fucking time in my entire life. I saw someone actually utilizing the trading functions of FireRed and LeafGreen one time. I'm not going to lose sleep over not having access to that.
The player pool, by its nature, is going to be a lot smaller through that method.
From like a literal sense, sure. The player base of Emulation to legitimate copy. Actually, I'm not even sure at this point. That might not even be true because the game is so fucking old.
So what we're seeing here is essentially the giant cope around Emulation as a concept completely collapsing.
Yeah, man, Emulation is just collapsing. Hang on, I'm gonna go emulate some games real quick. Okay, I'm back. I was emulating God of War 2 on my computer. Dude, the fucking PXS2, PSX2, whatever one it's called, whatever the acronym is, that thing is incredible. I love it so much. I'm gonna emulate the fucking Larry Boy game next. I'm not even kidding. Someone told me in the comment section of a video a while back that there was a Larry Boy game, and I downloaded that shit so fucking fast.
Because the entire narrative was that, like, yeah, we have these games for free, and everyone can download these games for free. Actually, you don't even need to download them, because they're built into browsers now.
Yeah, that's not a narrative, that's just true. Like, it's not a narrative, that's just reality.
They're so successful and popular, and they have so much sex. You know, that was the narrative.
It was kind of weird to bring sex into the matter. Like, do you want to unpack that? It was weird that we were talking about games and emulation, and then you chose to bring having sex into the matter of like list of things that you don't have. Like that was all you, buddy. That was all you. And I actually don't want to unpack that now that I'm saying it out loud. I don't want to unpack that.
For years and years, that like ROMs and emulators would somehow like replace the Pokemon Company because the Pokemon Company isn't producing high quality enough products. And
well, I mean, the Pokemon Company is not producing high quality products, that's true. But also, when people bring up emulation as a counter to what the Pokemon Company is doing, it's not so much that we're saying that they're going to replace the Pokemon Company or that the emulation is going to like overrun the Pokemon Company. What we're saying is that it's so fucking easy to emulate it. Why would I be a customer of the Pokemon Company, especially when what they're putting out for paid products is so low effort? Why would I give the Pokemon Company money when they are blatantly not respecting what I want, and I could have what I want for free? It's a lot deeper than what you're giving it credit for.
Here we have a pretty definitive example of how that is not the case at all. It's
wow, shocker. The thing that you said that isn't even real is not the case. Dude, what? I said something that's not the case, and it's not the case? Holy shit, that's crazy.
It's kind of amazing, actually, seeing how this game is getting re-released, how it's getting so much hype and so much enthusiasm, and how the Pokemon hate community just can't do anything to downplay it.
No, we can do a lot. We can do a lot. I mean, I'll just show you right now. If you Google Pokemon Fire Red Switch 2, on the first page of the Google results, not like the immediate first results, to your credit, but on the first page of the Google results are several threads from Reddit, from GameFAQs, from people talking about the fact that there are people upset about the pricing. Obviously, that doesn't overrun the success of the game, but it's significant enough to notice, right?
You know, they can't get people to download the ROMs or the emulators. They can't get people to think that this is a bad game. They can't get people to think this is lazy or unintuitive or like a waste of everyone's time. They can't.
I mean, nobody ever said this was a bad game. Like through all the discussion of what's been going on here, I haven't seen anybody say it's a bad game because it's not a bad game. FireRed and LeafGreen are not bad games. They're good games. I would say they're great games. I would say they're some of the best Pokemon games to be released. And yet, the discussion around the way they're being distributed is overshadowing that. Just something to think about.
They can't flip and tell people that they would rather have this game on NSO after they've spent the past 7 years just downplaying the service and everything it's offered.
Okay, you seem to be equating two things. You're saying that people that okay, hang on. So you're saying that people want to own their games, they don't want to just have emulation be through NSO, which is true. I think I'll give you that point. That's true. People don't want to play old Nintendo games through NSO. They want to own old Nintendo games. A lot of people have grievances with the way that Nintendo preserves old games, and putting old games on NSO is not proper preservation. They want to own those old games. And now you're taking issue with the fact that they are re-releasing those old games, but there's a few things wrong with that. First of all, there's the fact that Nintendo has made it very clear that basically everything in the Switch 2 ecosystem is not properly owned by you. I made a million videos about that. But I mean, this is the same company that gave themselves the right in their own user agreement to waive your right to a class action lawsuit, and also the right to brick your console for any reason, and also you don't actually own your games because of all the online checks. And now that version of Nintendo is re-releasing GBA games for $20 a pop into that ecosystem where you own nothing, you're saying that's somehow better than them just putting the games on NSO, which really isn't even true. Whereas the people who are emulating the games, the argument they're making is that when you download a ROM, you own the game, which is true. If I download a ROM, Nintendo can't come to my house and delete the ROM. Nintendo can't disable the ROM. Nintendo can't disable my PC remotely. They can't brick my PC remotely because it's mine. If my internet goes out, that ROM stays on my computer because I actually own the files. Those files are on my computer. You can't remotely take them away from me. It's the same as if you had a GBA cartridge of these games. Nintendo could update their policies all they want. Nintendo can make whatever policies they want. They can't take that cartridge away from you. That's the difference.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't do a complete flip-flop like that and expect anyone to take you seriously, you know?
You only think it's a flip-flop because you're not understanding the point in the first place. It sounds like a flip-flop to you because the flip part of flip-flop, you have a complete misunderstanding of what the flip was. You flippin' flipper.
Like, we were told, a while, all this throughout, since Gen 7, Gen 6, old Pokemon was better. Pokemon was better back in the day.
I mean, it kind of was. It was certainly more polished.
And, here we go. Old Pokemon game. People should be excited. And instead what we get is senseless bitching,
Because the game is being distributed in a way that's fucked up. It's shady. It's lame. The game is not the problem. The distribution is the problem, but you can't separate the distribution from the game. I'm going to shit my pants right now. I really have to poo. I've been holding out for a while now, so I'm just going to close this video now and do the Doofus Club. If you want to watch the rest of the video, you can. If you really want to do that, you really want to subject yourself to that, you can. But I feel like I've made my points clear. There's probably nobody watching There's probably nobody watching the video at this point. So I'll leave you with this. Bibbidi bibbidi boo. The Mariners, please win this year. That rhymed. Fuck you. Doofus Club time. Elite, the Gamer 12-7YT, Chris Void, Jake Spider Monkey 1994, hashtag Hillbilly Vanilla, Floppy Pinkus 97, have our hyperactive turtle cards, game with the people, Nate Grimsey, official dregs, Google the Harpeggi, it's an amazing instrument, Blast 3040, Mayo Setsuna, Biscuit 1101, Quest of Rex, Hentai Joe, can we buy your music on Bandcamp? You cannot buy my music on Bandcamp because it's all on Spotify and Apple Music and on the Curbside Anthem YouTube channel for free if you want that as well. We're working on doing physical pressings of CDs and maybe some vinyls. CDs for sure. Vinyl pressing is weird, but CD pressings we're going to do soon. We're also going to open an online store for merch and shirts and stuff. Working with a really cool company that I like. That's a big announcement for later. Anyways, if you want to listen to my music, it's all on Spotify and Apple Music and the YouTube for free if you want to listen to it there. I own 6 click flicks of Blu-ray disc, Delta 169, Baron von Voderham, Unicorn Rocco, Suck on This Nuts, Joe, AI is Slop, the Microsoft, Ugly Smile, Dirty Mike and the Boys. I am the 10 dozen eggs, you have the master playing me, boy. Max Killer V2 Gaming, I hope that's what you wanted me to say that, like, when you change your name. I hope that's what you wanted. It's a hard nug life. Nice dude. 1 minute savage. No payoff. Vector vendetta. Tree mechanical. Resonant sick. Nick. Mad Fox. 94XJ. Induction. Bear brain stick. Red broken crown. Prepare for the Rat King. Could you tell I'm a drama teacher? Just took an epic Tim and wiped my Sweeney vest. Dennis. Muskie. Kleptomango. Judge 6. Multi. Really Zed. Oracle. Jimmy Chops. Master Sailor. Tom. Snorlax. And Unknown 8718. They said Highguard doesn't need that many players. They were wrong. Edge Shadow Bear 1789. Ben. Oh my God. Edge Shadow Bear 1789. That was bad. Bender Fondue. T-Train Rising. Non Vola. High Partial. Mean 8. Vox Auto. Snake Ice 227. MK 2396. EX. Magna Game of Fire. Has 105. Tech Gaming, Slim Jim, Lord Bowser II, Joe Laughs the Mo, Gay Local Little Dodging, PC Gamer. I love that joke is still going. Jessica Sever, Rigi's Power, Rigi's Abbey, Xylophone, Doofus Mertz Academy, Crewman the Steel Angel, High Guard, Low Guard, Yeet the D's. Oh my God. High Guard, Low Guard, Yeet the Devs Out Guard. Cyrus 6771, 2 Dex 940. OMG, you were right. It was E. Wow, you're so smart, Joe. Creed Warrior 23 Max Shed. Totally insane. He released the Doofus files, Joe. I do that every single video. Good night of Cypher, ML04, Wolf of Midnight, EKW, Steve Win Studios, Film Kraken, Gaming, Tariq, Brown, Thorns Game, Maganek, Severin Evers, Mr. Spawning 03, is the kindly finger Wymix of Pow Pow, Donnie Weston, Gob Gonson, Rogue Winter 919, Zach Thane, Hangman for Hire, Elden Noble, Frost Crystal, Biogenesis, Floppy, Manga Keys, Scruffs Go Ghost, Hori, Soggy Raptor 10, Honest 94, Blue Hook, Win in Doubt, Face the Win, Wink it Out, Mr. Techno Squeak, Jody P, Smiggy Wig, Jensen, Make Advertisement, Diego Garcia, Kimikins, I American Idiot, Harmon Smith on the Chin, Ono, Justin Red, Retuning Winix, the Rule 7, Retro, Westa, JMM, SG, Veg, Groove, Banana, Colonel Alice, Maxwell, Hathman, Sony should pay me to sit on my ass for 6 years. They already pay you to do that. Oh, wait, no, they don't pay you to do that. Sorry. What the fuck joke was I making there? I had an idea and I just lost it. That's what it's like being me. Joe, what's it like to be you? I lose ideas in the middle of having them. Okay, toodles.